I am so glad this nightmare is over. This was probably one of the worst road trips I've seen in a long ass time. This loss just as hurts because at least with Vancouver we deserved to lose. We play like garbage. Seattle, it was a massive loss, but this one, it just takes the cake. We were getting owned by Mikael Backlund, of all people. Backlund, you could have expected someone man, I don't know. This sucks. This absolutely sucks. We go up to see Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar. Huberdeau not having a great season. Weegar is. It's Anthony Stollarts going up against Jacob Markstrom. I think I'm finally going to say this. I think my patience is running out with Stollarts. I'm serious when I tell you this. Even though he's a backup goalie, I am losing patience. Because this is the game that is winnable under Stollarts. And he completely dropped the ball. He was awful. He was just awful. He gave up goals that should have been saved against Calgary. And we had shots that should have went in. And we didn't, and it didn't go in. Only one of them was made. And it's only from that Reinhardt goal. Before I break it down, let's go over this team stats right off the bat because this is important when I tell you this. We had one power play goal compared to Calgary with 5, right? One of the power plays, it should have went in, or it should have had a better puck possession. But this power play goal we had just barely. I'm talking like milliseconds before a power play ended. We got the goal just before the clock hit 0. Bottom line, our power play is horrible. It's horrible. We can't even go power play against the under 500 teams. I mean, oh my gosh, it's horrible. Oh, it gets worse with our power play. Because of nearly an 0 for 5 power plays, even though it could have been 0 for 5, but it's just barely getting that before clock hit 0 on the power play. We gave up 2, both shorthanded goals. And I'll tell you how it happens as I break this game down. So, we start with Calgary with the face-off win, and there's already a penalty with Andrew Mangiapane, call for interference, goaltending interference against Stollarts. So Florida goes on a power play, and you sure guessed it, power play is killed off. Then a little bit after that, Mikola gets called for high sticking on Yager Shiragovic. Calgary goes on a power play. And penalty was killed off. Penalty kill is still good. And we turn the puck over. And assist by Nazem Kadri and Dennis Gilbert. It's Martin Pospisil. 1-0 Calgary off the bat. But this backhand, right? It didn't even feel like a backhand. It felt more like a wrist shot to me. But that... you have to save that puck. That is a savable puck. And you didn't. It's horrible. Horrible goal to give up. 1-0 Calgary off the bat. So we're going to skip ahead a little bit. Nick Cousins gets called for a slashing against Connor Zary. And Calgary goes on yet another power play. However, during the power play, Rasmus Anderson gets called for interference on Sam Bennett. That is a clear state penalty. For a little bit, it became a 4-on-4. Then became a Florida power play. Just before power play ends, Reinhart gets the wrist shot, assisted by Matthew Tkachuk and Alexander Barkov. Tkachuk, a former Flame. Reinhart gets one just barely before the power play ends, ties the game up 1-1. So then we end the first period 1-1 after all that. Second period, no goals. No goals at all. There was one penalty. There is just one penalty. I thought the second period. All right. So Steven Lorentz gets called for hooking on Rasmus Kadri. Now, I understand the hooking part, but what I don't get is this. It's a late call. B, you missed a high sticking on Calgary. You missed a high sticking. Matthew Tkachuk gets high sticked up in the face, and you totally freaking missed it. How do you miss it? So Tkachuk is arguing, and he would argue for the rest of the game. Calgary goes on the power play. It was killed off, even despite the chances that Calgary had. But you know what though? I also like to say this. Besides Stolarz not playing this great game, and Calgary somehow a better team offensively, the ref and even Calgary fans can agree. Referees were horrendous in this game. They were horrendous on both sides, especially going up against the Panthers too. You missed a high stick and you missed a lot of calls. And when you get the call wrong, you accuse the other team when the other team did the exact thing that you called against the opposite. It's just unbelievable. Now, Florida would go on the power play, and majority of the time, it was either getting blocked by Weegar, saved by Jacob Markstrom, which give credit to Markstrom. He played great last night, but holy shit, the puck was right there. And there were times where we were just missing barely. And you almost allowed Huberdeau to score. That would have been the bigger blow. All right, so the rest of the second period, just plain nothing. I would go even further depth like I did months ago, but I realized those videos would take too long. Kulikov tries to get something and playing good defensively as well. And by the way, congrats to Dmitry Kulikov for playing his 900th career game in the NHL. That's a milestone for Dmitry Kulikov. So that's cool. That's absolutely cool to see. Third period though, Sam Bennett gets called for a hook. I mean, typical Sam Bennett penalty. And it's against Jonathan. And Sam Bennett hooked Jonathan Huberdeau, our former Panther. I'm sorry to say this. I love Tkachuk. I do. But seeing Huberdeau on the Flames, and a little bit of Mackenzie Weegar too, even though he hadn't played his best hockey with the Panthers at that time, it kind of still hurts to see Huberdeau on the Flames. I'm gonna tell you the truth flat out. I think his career peaked after that trade happened, and I don't think he's playing his best hockey since his Florida Panthers days. Shut up. Anyway, back to Huberdeau, just really quick before I continue the game. I still miss Huberdeau. I love Tkachuk. He's really a good player. Yes, he's having an unlucky season, but I still miss Huberdeau. I think you could have had a better option to trade for Tkachuk without giving up Huberdeau. I'm just saying. And now he has to spend his next 8 seasons with Calgary. Hopefully there will be a point in time where he requests a trade back to Florida. Somehow, some way. I mean, Roberto Luongo did it. I'm just saying. Anyway, guys, back to the game. Calgary goes on a power play. Mackenzie Weegar tries to get one that was blocked by Reinhart, and Stolarz would end up saving the puck. That's a save. That is easy for you. Dick Simon would get called for interference on Lomberg Florida goes on the power play, and Florida did jack shit. In fact, it's way worse. Because during this power play, Florida has given a turnover, takeaway by Noah Hannafin, and Hannafin gives it to Backlund, and Backlund was everywhere. He dominated the Panthers. This is a bigger blow. He has had a backhand shot, and what do you know? What do you know? As our power play couldn't get any worse, we gave up a shorthanded goal off a turnover. Just, oh my God, it's so frustrating. And now Calgary leads 2-1. Oh, and the penalty was killed off. Oh my God, just absolutely frustrating. Just frustrating. And that's another one that Stolarz could have saved, but that did not happen. He gets owned by 2 backhands. Any given day, if it was Bobrovsky, he would have probably saved it. I'm just telling you right now. Ekblad gets called for a slasher on Blake Coleman. Calgary goes on yet another power play. And after the penalty was killed off, Blake Coleman gets called for a holding on Bennett. Oh, and Florida didn't get anything off this power play. So we're going to skip ahead a little bit. So there would have been an empty net at this point. Yeah, empty net. Backlund had the puck, and by the way, Florida had much more chances, but they kept missing, and one of them was saved by Marshall Tkachuk. I find it funny how Tkachuk is in possession of the puck, and Calgary Flames just boo at him. I mean, what do? He requests to trade Calgary. Is it betrayal? I mean, okay, fair, but he gave you playoff chance, and the rest of your team just didn't go to the finals like we did. Maybe that's why. Anyway, Backlund didn't have the puck, and he just shoot it over the glass. That's a penalty. That is a penalty. And we had a 6-on-4 power play because of the empty net. Tkachuk had a wrist shot that was saved, and for their times, it gets blocked. Bennett tries to get one, saved by Markstrom, and Blake Coleman just takes away the puck, and there he goes. He has a puck, and he actually misses the shot, and I don't know if this. What is this rule? What is this rule? Okay, here's the rule. Players on a breakaway in the empty net. And was it Montour? I think it was Montour. Comes in. I think he had a tripped, I think he tripped Coleman. He trips Coleman. The puck never reached the back of the net. It misses to the wide right. And the referees awarded him a goal anyway. What? What is this rule? I've never heard of this rule. Really? I really didn't. This has hardly happened. But yet, when we had something, and when something just unlucky and horrible happens to us, now we get these rules? What is happening? Blake Coleman, 10th goal of the season. Florida couldn't get anything. It gets saved by Markstrom missing. Game over. I'm tired. I've had it with this game. I've just had it with this game. Starts of the game, check out Markstrom. 33 saves, 971 save percentage. Mikael Backlund, 2 stars, no surprise there. Sam Reinhart gets 3 stars. I mean, 1 goal, but it's just. And this road trip was awful. It was not worth staying up late past midnight to watch our team get beat over and over and over and over again. Edmonton is the only exception. Against Edmonton, we beat them 5-1. That was worth it. The rest of the trip was not worth it. It just wasn't. I stayed up late. I actually felt dizzy one of those nights. just to see our team get shut out or play disgracefully against a team that we should have beaten. Against Vancouver, Vancouver's the exception of it. We deserve to lose that game, but to everybody else, they need some readjustments, especially the power play adjustments, because the power play sucks, and it's going to continue to suck unless somebody does something about it. To give you a context, Florida had more shots, and only one of them made it in. During the power plays, we had either one shot on goal, 2 shots on goal, or no shots on goal. It's horrible. And Calgary's face-off percentage dominates the Florida Panthers. When are we going to wake up? Where are we going to wake up? Where's the spark? Because the next time we go on the road to the West Coast, let's see here. I hope it's not too long, to tell you the truth. So yesterday was December 18th. Then we got this week. We got next week in the East Coast, thank God. Early January? Oh no, the start of January. Back to the West. Oh God, back to the West Coast. I can't. I love watching this team play, but the West Coast is killing me, especially when they go up against teams that are actually pretty good, right? I love the challenge. I want to prove that we can beat pretty big teams, especially our Stanley Cup opponent. But oh my God, if you can't win in the West anymore, then tell me why I should wake up later or stay up late to watch our team win or lose. Thankfully, it seems though as only 2 games are past 8:30 to to start that late. But I think the same week the Heat are on the West Coast too. So there's that too as well. Anyway, Florida goes back home finally. I'm sorry that I stuttered. I'm just really angry. I mean, legitimately pissed off. I'm so glad they're going back home. They've got the St. Louis Blues on Thursday, 7 o'clock. And then Vegas, our Stanley Cup opponent, 3 o'clock on Saturday. Oh boy. And then we got the Lightning after that. Then we got the Rangers. Oh boy. And we got the Montreal Canadiens to end 2023. I'm done with this video. Hope you enjoyed this video and not the game. Hit the like button, subscribe to my content because Miami GVD guys are back. And when he does, he'll be right there with the fair entertainment you deserve. This is Miami GVD. Sign up, folks. Good night, everybody.